All the things I got in my life.
Randy, could you
know me about my visor being there. All right, what we got?
You're a little busy.
Yeah, I got a few things to do. You know, I hate it for Max. I hate it for really for our offensive team, but at the same time, it's turning over a new leaf. You know, we had to do it last year when Morgan got hurt, played with a freshman. I've done it several times in the past, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge for everyone. You know, obviously they have to step up and do their part, but those other 10 guys have to, you know, really do their part. And, we lost a guy that can make everybody's job a little easier. Lost a guy that can erase some mistakes, but these guys can erase mistakes in their own way. And it'll be exciting. It will be exciting one way or another.
Have you worked out what you're going to do or plans exactly with rotations and each guy?
No, Jen, I have not yet. I have thoughts in my head, but a lot of it's going to be determined on how they practice, obviously today, tomorrow, and then again on Thursday. And not only how they practice, but the answers they give me in meetings, you know, how they respond. And you try to play to each guy's strengths. And obviously Jalen has some things he does very well. I'm sure Patrick will have some things. You know, as I work with him more, I'll figure out exactly what those are. But we're going to try to put him in positions to do the things they do well. And I'm sure there will be some overlap, but there'll be some differences there also.
How'd they do today?
They did all right. We set a new record for knucklehead calls a couple of times. You know, calling them knuckleheads or something pretty close to that. You know, but you know, they understand for the most part what to do. Now, actually doing it is the next thing. You know, on the board they can tell you what they're supposed to do and what everybody's supposed to do. But when it starts happening fast and you have 2.5 seconds to get back there, read the defense, make a decision, get the ball out of your hand while avoiding the rush or finding a way to throw it through, that's their challenge.
Randy, you had to make a radical change at the end of last season and you were successful at quarterback. This is a little bit different though, isn't it? Is it not quite as radical?
It's probably not quite as radical. The difference was, you know, Max had an extra spring practice, you know, because he had come in early. So he was a little farther along probably in understanding some things, but, you know, kind of the way we're playing now, no huddle also makes it a little bit easier on them to not have to understand much stuff.
Why?
Well, because we fixed a lot of problems for him from the sideline. You know, where we did that for a while with Max, but we couldn't do it quite as easily as we can now.
They're even more likely to stay in no huddle than to huddle up and slow it down with the young guys.
Yeah, it's really easier for them to operate in the no huddle because you know, a lot of times the hardest thing for a young guy is just getting the play called right in the huddle. You know, so if you don't have to worry about that, you know, it makes it easier. Just like you know, against Tennessee when we played in the pistol the whole time, I didn't have to worry about teaching Matt how to take a snap. You know. So anything you can eliminate, anything you can make it easier for them, that's what you try to do.
How much game slippage did? Sorry.
How much did you rotate them in practice today? Did Patrick go with the ones and the twos? Or,
yeah, they both went with each group. A lot of times they would go with one until they messed up, and I'd send them to go touch the goalpost, and then the other one went. So we had a little bit of rotation that way. We had a little bit of rotation just you know, as much as anything else, just to get the first group used to hearing Patrick. You know, just so they could hear his verbiage, they could hear his cadence and the way he communicated. And who gets the first snap, I don't know, but they'll both play. It'll have to be a rotation because I can't get either one of them ready to do the whole thing. And that's kind of what got us last week a little bit. You know, we had plan A, or game plan, and we had plan B in case something happened. I just wasn't expecting to have to run 65 plays in plan B, you know. I thought we had a pretty good plan B, but the second half they kind of caught up to it because we had run it so long.
How much game slippage did Jalen have against South Carolina? And is the only cure for that reps in practice?
I'm sorry, game slippage?
Yeah.
What,
he does it in the
just
practice.
Want to make sure I understand exactly.
He does it on the practice field, but when in the game, it kind of got away.
We had honestly too much of that. You know, and one play is really too much. But we had several plays. We had several plays that. You know, at the end of the season, you do your cut-ups of your plays, and then you have another file that's the plays that are so screwed up you don't even recognize them. We got several plays that went in that file from last game. And oddly enough, we actually had 3 third down conversions on those. So
Are you going to put them in the playbook then?
no, we're not going to quite stay with them. But
happen?
sometimes it's good to be lucky.
How'd the third down conversions happen if the plays were scrambled?
We scrambled on a couple of them, and one ball got deflected off a defensive back's hands, and Daryl caught it on the sideline.
Easy or tough to be patient with everything going on, trying to get 2 young kids ready?
You know, the older I get, the less patient I am, honestly. And I think part of it is they have to understand the sense of urgency to get better. You know, not being patient doesn't mean you don't understand there's going to be mistakes. And I do understand there's going to be mistakes. And you know, you just got to make sure the mistakes aren't the kind that kill your team. You know, they aren't the ones that turn the ball over. They aren't the ones that lose 12 yards, things like that. You know, we got to keep the mistakes to a minimum, not do things that's going to get us beat, and then make the plays we're supposed to make.
Folks, thank you.